Yeah, right. Happy Deadlock publication day eve, as we're calling it here in Team Phillips. Just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everybody who's pre-ordered their copies of it. If it's a paperback, there's a chance it's with you already. If not, it'll be with you in a couple of days. If it's an ebook, it will hit your Kindle at midnight tonight. It's very unusual actually for us to be in a position, especially with the short stories, to actually have a pre-order link. We're normally running around very unorganised and editing and changing and tweaking and goodness knows what else to do stuff and uploading it at the very, very, very last moment to go live on the Thursday. Whereas this time we've actually been able to stick it up on Amazon and have a full week's grace where it's been available for pre-order. And other than a slight tweak and a change to the front cover, it's been chill that, and I've really enjoyed it. So we are going to aim to keep going forward to keep this pre-order stuff and to not be changing things 48 hours before the book's published. For those, I'm sure you've seen the pictures of it, but this is what the paperback version looks like. It's like I said, I mean, I've read it obviously because I wrote it, but it's dead good, and I'm very, very happy and very, very proud of how it's turned out. It's been a very, very difficult one, Deadlock. It was a difficult book to write. It was a difficult book to edit. There seems to have been a gigantic gap between actually writing the story and getting it to the point of releasing it. We had to put the release date back because of the world going kaboom, and yeah, it's been this has been the most difficult publication we've had yet. It's been very stressful and very hard, but having seen it, I can confirm that it was very much worth all of the stress and angst and worrying. Yeah, I'm delighted that we've got here, and hopeful that when the Paradox of the Lie is due to be released, the world is in a much better place and everything's more positive and happy. The other thing that we're going to do in this video was we've had 5 or 6 emails asking about more details on the story and more details on the inspiration and how and why we came up with a short story about Jory. As far as the plot goes, the synopsis is up. It's on my website. It's on my Facebook page, and that's really as far as I want to go in terms of giving away details. It's a short story. If I tell you everything that happens, there's no reason to buy it. Yeah, the synopsis is a good synopsis, and I think it covers it really well. In terms of the inspiration, I think I've mentioned this or hinted at it before, but I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, and one of the cases that was covered in one of these was a case of an American gentleman called Curtis Flower, and Curtis was wrongly convicted of a murder. He then had his conviction overturned, and it's going on for 20 odd years. He's had 6 trials so far, and I think he's either coming up to his 7th. But during one of the early ones, I think the 2nd or 3rd trial, a jury member says, "No, I'm not going along with this. He didn't do it. I'm refusing to find him guilty." And all of the other 11 jurors and him were a standoff, and then he's put under incredible pressure by the judge, who does something very distasteful towards him. It's out there, Google it if you want to know. And yeah, that part of it stuck in my head. And with this, how these things tend to work with me was, I stopped sort of listening to the details of the case, and it became a couple of weeks of just thinking about what must that guy have been going through, and how strong must your conviction be to be absolutely certain that your view of the world is right, and your view of the evidence and your view of what's going on is right, and everybody else is wrong, and to not crack under the peer pressure of everything, and to not just give in, to be the 1 in 11v1. And yeah, that little nugget sort of grew, and it turned into Deadlock. Yeah, that's the basic inspiration behind it, is what must it take to not give in, basically. And from there, it developed, and Douglas Sanchez was created, who is the the 1 in 11v1, and Douglas was then given a lot of personality traits, which mean that he sees the world in a very. He wants to see the world in the most pure way possible, but because of the experiences and the life he's had, he doesn't actually see the world that way. And then it grew on top of that into, well, does he see the world right, or does he just see the way he assumes everything is rather than the way it actually is? And it become quite, it's quite an in-depth. You actually have to read this one right the way to the end, because 95% of the book is told from Douglas's point of view, and obviously Douglas's point of view is his own point of view, and that's how he sees the world. But right at the end, you actually see the way things actually are as opposed to the way Douglas sees them. And yeah, in some cases there may be some differences, but then again there may not be. We'll leave it at that. Thank you again to everyone who's pre-ordered. Thank you to everyone who's going to pick it up over the next couple of days. I don't want to show it off one more time. We're all very, very proud to be at this stage now, and to be at the point where it's finally ready for the world to read. And I'm now going to go and do a COVID-safe celebration, whatever that may involve. And yeah, thank you for watching, and laters.